Hi everyone, I'm so thrilled that you're loving these hand sewing projects and programs, and thank you for doing them with me. This month we are going to do a fabric, kind of a boho fabric flower. It's really lots of fun, super simple, just quick little hand stitching and you can do it. So in your kit, you will find a strip of fabric. You will find thread and a needle, and you will find a clasp that can go on the back. I'll talk about that as we go along. And you'll have one button in your kit. I just showed a couple of sizes and colors. Okay, we are ready to go. So with your strip, and I put size charts on the instructions should you want to make a different size. The key is to keep the center tight enough or small enough so that your button covers it. So you may want to play around with that should you change your sizes. And if I remember right, this fabric is cut 22 inches by 3. And I love the raw edging. It has a little stretch to it. The rough edging kind of makes it a little more boho or fun. Okay, so with that long strip, you basically are folding it in half, but I do not want you to fold it in half exactly. You will fold it in half so it's off-centered. So one raw edge is above the other. Very simple, doesn't have to be exact, does not have to be even. So what I did after I folded it is I pinned it, just to kind of keep it easier to work with. The next thing you're going to do is thread your needle, and I used a double length. So you want to cut your thread at least twice the length of this to start with. Thread the needle and tie the knot so you have 2 strands coming down. And as we've done in the past, you do a basic running stitch. So you start at one end and it is on the folded side. In and out, in and out, in and out. Short stitches, not too short, maybe 1/4 inch. Hand stitch close to this folded edge, all the way down. Do not tie off at the other end and do not cut. At that point, you will gather, as we did in other projects. You will slide this down. And if you have knotted this thread at this end really well, it should not give you any problem. So you gather it up and you will start to see a circle forming. So when you completed getting this as tight as you can, which you can see there is going to be a hole, so get it as tight as you can, tie it off and knot it. You will notice there's a little bit of gap here because of the raw edges. What I chose to do, and it's entirely up to you, I wanted to get rid of that. So I separated one layer, pulled it back, and then I basically just kind of hand stitched that closed, started at the end, come up, and then stitch this size closed, and you knot it off, and then you let it fall back, and it should look like this. It's completely closed all the way around. And there's my stitching. Does not have to be neat, thank goodness. And you kind of move this around to get the fullness distributed however you like. Decide which side's going to be the front, which actually, I'm sorry, it is decided for you. The side that shows the 2 edges will be the front. The other side only shows one edge. If that's what you like, that's fine, but it's designed so that the 2 raw edges are on the front. Then you take your button, and you'll kind of have to work with this a little bit because you're sewing a button onto a hole. So you will start, grab a little bit of fabric here with a needle, come up through the button, go back down and back here. And it kind of closes. I'm going to try to do this so you can see it, but you can kind of close that up a little bit as you stitch that button on. Now I have enclosed a clasp if you should decide that you want to put this on the back so you can attach it as a brooch or on a headband, whatever you like. These clasps are peel and stick. To be truthful, I never trust them fully. So I take off the peel and stick as best I can, and then there are some holes in the clasp and you can stitch it to the back. You can kind of see how I stitched it. So you stitch that to the back. Another cool idea to put on the back is a hair snap clip. You can put it in the hair, you can attach it maybe onto a handbag. Just lots of fun things. Have fun with these. In the instructions, I talk about ruffling or roughing up the edges. I did it beforehand on this, and I'm not sure I quite like it. It got pretty hairy on the edges, so I trimmed some. But it's up to you, and then you can always separate this some to make it a little more three-dimensional. And there you go. Have fun with it. Wear those in pride.